Greetings and welcome to Program Your Mind for Business Success. This is Susie Bowers, and today we're going to talk about goal setting and positioning your mind for success in your life and your business. We'll also discuss how our mindset works and how it's our most important asset or potential hindrance to what we're trying to accomplish. So this is what we'll cover today. First, we're going to take a moment to just reflect and review our goals for last year. Where have you fallen short? What did you accomplish? Write it down. So you're definitely going to want to get out a notebook and paper and pen and take some notes today through our course, because there's going to be some work you're going to probably want to work on after the training to get more clear about what you'd like to accomplish for yourself. So writing it down also sends a powerful message to the subconscious part of our mind, which is basically what we're going to be talking about mostly today. So we're going to also discuss what makes some things so challenging, because you'll probably notice a pattern. There's areas that you have not been moving forward. It's probably an area that's kept you stuck in the past as well. We're also going to be discussing our mind and how it works, your beliefs and where they came from, your version of reality, which is really key in understanding how to make change work for you, and your imagination, your most powerful tool, and how to use and activate the power of your imagination to help you move forward towards your goals and your success. So who am I? Well, probably wondering. My name's Susie Bowers, and I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist and success coach. I do coaching on different levels, life coaching and success coaching. And I'm also a published author of 3 different books right now. I've got 2 that are published on Amazon. One's called 10 Keys to Living a Soul Life, which is basically the primer or workbook for the work that I do with my clients. And some of that I'm going to be sharing with you today right here in this training. I've also wrote a little book called Ways to Quit Smoking that's also available on Amazon. And I've published an ebook called Your 6-Figure Hypno Coaching Business, Where Passion and Purpose Change People's Lives, which is available at my website, HypnoProfessional.com. That is a membership site for hypnotherapists and coaches, so a success site. We also offer other services there to help you be successful. I am an online publisher with my HypnoProfessional Publishing, a marketing specialist, a mindset master, and a speaker and trainer, which is why I'm sharing this here with you today with millionaire seekers. Also, a little bit more of my background. When I was 18, I started in the real estate industry. And so I was very young, but I was fascinated by real estate because I saw that people could make a lot of money, and they just seemed like they were movers and shakers, and they were always having a lot of fun. And so I found myself in the real estate industry really by accident, but by the age of 24, I got my real estate license and was actually in selling new homes and resale homes. And it was quite the thing, because being that young, I was full of all kinds of energy and determination and thinking I could just accomplish anything I put my mind to. But what really happened is we had to do sales and cold calls and things like that, and it was hard for me. I kind of hit a wall there, and I thought, what in the heck's wrong with me? So I began my journey of self-improvement and self-discovery. And truly, if you're in sales or you own your own business, I have found that being self-employed is a disguise for the journey of self-improvement. And so that's probably why you're here, because you're looking at ways to be a better version of yourself. And so I began to study all the gurus. I studied Tony Robbins, and I was just fascinated by the power of mind, the mindset for success. I listened to Mike Ferry audios and videos. He's a real estate trainer, and many others. I also got involved with Deepak Chopra, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, and some other authors and trainers just about the spiritual world and our divine connection and just living a truly joyful and successful life. So I have been on this path for a long time. Fast forward to 1994, I had a horseback riding accident in which I hurt myself very badly and was spun into a deep, dark depression. And it was very strange territory for me because I was a cheerleader and track star, snow skier, horseback rider. I mean, I love life and to have fun. And here I found myself just in a very dark place. And so I sought out help with my medical doctor. And of course, he prescribed antidepressants. Well, fortunately or unfortunately for me, I couldn't take them. They made me feel worse. And so I ended up going to a hypnotherapist kind of on accident. I was guided and led there and referred there by someone else who was trying to find some answers for me. And oh my gosh, I had the most amazing experience. So I go out to see this lady. And when I got there, it was like being Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. Everything was dark and gray and miserable. And after my first session, I had such an amazing experience. I walked out her door and all the colors were back and I was hooked. I asked, I'm like, what the heck is this? This is wonderful. So I found a way to really access the power of my own mind to create joy and get my joy back and get my energy back and get back to my normal life. And so I enrolled in school in Sacramento, did 250 hours of hands-on training, hypnotizing people, getting hypnotized, learning all about the power of the mind and energy and all kinds of things, and opened my business in 1995. My very first hypnotherapy business, and the rest has been history. I've done some other things along the way, but I always come back to this work because I love helping others. I've literally worked with hundreds and hundreds of people all over the U.S., Canada, and Great Britain, and have helped them to achieve success, joy in their life, or to overcome some area that they've been stuck in. It's been very, very rewarding. So that's me, and that's my experience. So now you know. So let's carry on. So first of all, get your piece of paper out and sit down and write some of these things down, and then I would come back to it after this training and really take some time and dig deep. We're going to take a few moments right now to reflect and review. So take a moment, just think about the last year. What did you accomplish over the last year? What were your goals? What did you set out to do for yourself? Think about what you accomplished, and then get really honest and serious and write down, where did you fall short? There was an income goal, a health goal, a relationship goal, a spiritual goal. What did you plan to accomplish and that you did? And what were some of the areas where you fell short? And then take a moment to get clear on what it is that you want now. What do you want for yourself now? What is this year going to look like for you? So this is where you're going to take time after this training and sit down and get very clear on your weekly, monthly, and annual goal. Start at the annual and work your way backwards to this week, what you want to accomplish and the activities and actions you are going to take to reach that goal. And take some time and get this written down, and then I'm a big believer in vision boarding. You might want to create a vision board with your goals on them and keep it in front of you. It activates the subconscious mind that will help you achieve those goals. And that's more, we're going to be talking a lot more about that today and how that works. And imagine, just take a moment to imagine where you will be in 6 months from now if you have accomplished what you set out to do. Yeah. That's right. What is life like for you when 6 months from now, when you have accomplished what you set out to do? You're actually living it. You're a walking, talking, living example of what you set out to do. What is life like? Oh, yeah. And remember this, because we're going to come back to this later. Now, conversely, imagine it's 6 months from now, and you haven't accomplished what you set out to do. What is life going to be like then? What will life feel like, look like, and be like for you if you don't do what you set out to do? If you don't stick to your goals and stick to your guns and overcome those blocks and challenges and make it happen? That never feels very good. So the other vision is much better, isn't it? So then the next question is, what are you willing to do so that you make sure that you don't falter, that you make sure that you are that happy, successful person 6 months from now, that one that you can envision, living your life on purpose and what you have decided to do for yourself. All right, so create that new vision for this year, 2017 or 2018 or 2019, whenever it is you are listening to this. It doesn't matter where you start, just start. Make today that day that you take time out for this and get clear. This is the most important exercise you could ever do. It's difficult to go somewhere if you're not clear on where you need to go. And it's also difficult and challenging sometimes to get there if you are not clear on where your weak areas are. You're going to harness your strengths, and you're going to get very honest with yourself about your weak areas, and then I suggest you seek out a coach and get some help, because that can make all the difference, investing in yourself to get through those humps and those areas that have been challenging. Okay, let's move forward. Have you ever had the experience that the harder you try to do something, the harder it is? Well, we all have, of course. Sometimes it feels like you're trying to do something and you just hit a brick wall. Boom. Well, there's a reason for that, and in all honesty, it's not really your fault because you don't know what you don't know, right? So we're going to learn how to overcome that experience so that we can make it easier to accomplish your goals, to get clear on how to use the tools that are already innately within you, in your own mind, to get into a flow and make things easier so you don't feel like you're muscling your way through it all the time. So this is a model of consciousness, and this is basically the platform that I share with everybody so that it gives us a nice diagram, a way to break down how our minds work, what is consciousness, and how does it work for us and against us, and all of those things. So if you would like to, you could draw a circle on your paper with 2 rings. So the outer ring here is representing the conscious level of your mind. So experts agree we use less than 5% or so of our mind at a conscious level. But this is the part of us that is our personality. This is who we believe we are. So I am me, I'm Susie, and you are you. And this is where the ego mind is. The ego mind can be very frustrating and destructive. It also can be empowering. This is when it's in balance, it can be very helpful. But when it's out of balance, based on our own inner chatter, it can be very destructive. Kind of like a 2-year-old having a tantrum. So this is where our willpower is. We have lots of willpower. The thing about willpower that's kind of the challenge with it is that you have to remember to use it. It's not automatic because it's part of the conscious mind. So it's not an automatic thing. You have to remember to use it. I know you have lots of willpower because you use willpower all the time. You go do things all the time that you don't want to do. You use your willpower. So here, sometimes we have to remember to use it in areas where we really need to use it. This is also the logical, reasoning, rational part of the mind, and it's very judgmental. So if you're judging something or someone, whether it's good or bad, it's still a judgment, and that means that you're coming from your ego. So if I think, oh, that girl's dress is pretty, that's a judgment. If I think, oh, it's a crappy day, that's a judgment. So either way, whether good or bad, it's still judging, and when you're in judgment, you're in the ego mind. It's not your most powerful place. This is the part of us that needs to be right. You ever have an argument with somebody and you just have to win it no matter what? Well, you are way in your ego when you're doing that, and believe me, there's a no-win situation when you need to be right. So at all costs, avoid needing to be right. Just accept that everyone's got their point of view, and there's no point in arguing. This part of our mind also loves to believe it's in control. It's in control of itself. It's in control of other people and their behaviors. And it loves to believe it's in control of circumstances. But we all know that there are a lot of things that are not in our control. So if this part of us gets out of balance, it can be very destructive, like that little 2-year-old kicking and screaming. All right. So here's a little recap of the conscious mind. Less than 5%, 5 or 10 of our consciousness, the personality self, loves to be right and in control. Oh, and it's easily offended. So if you're in a mode where you're getting offended or your feelings are hurt by something someone says to you or situation, then you're in your ego. It comes to mind thinking of the politics. Everybody's all offended about this or that or the other, and that's just all ego stuff, and it does not lead to joy. It does not lead to success. It's completely a huge waste of your energy. That energy you need to focus on your success and your joy. So loves to be right and in control, rational reasoning part of the mind. It's very past or future focused. So, for example, if you're focused on past failures or the past, people, relationships, whatever, then that will cause depression. So if you're a depressed person and you're experiencing depression, it's because you are thinking of things in the past. You're past focused. On the other hand, if you experience anxiety, you get anxious or you have panic attacks or anything like that, then you're very future focused. You're worried about the future. That's not your most powerful energy to be in. Where you're most powerful is in the present moment, doing present activities that are empowering and having thoughts about the right now. The experts agree that we think about 65,000 thoughts a day. That's right, 65,000 thoughts. But the problem is the same thoughts go round and round in our head over and over again. It's not like we're having new thoughts every day. So don't worry if you missed a few, they'll be back again tomorrow. But unfortunately, those thoughts are like programs that are programming us to feel a certain way. And I'm going to explain this a little more detail in just a moment. We all start out like this little guy. He's so cute, the teddy bear. Right? We're a clean slate. Nothing here. Of course, we live in a world of energy, and with quantum physics, we have learned so many things. So many things have changed for us in the last few years. So we all started out as a clean consciousness. And since the moment you were born or became a consciousness, whatever that was, you begin to have experiences of life. And those experiences begin to create beliefs and programs that are in the subconscious part of your mind. And we get these programs and beliefs from our family members, our parents, our grandparents, our siblings, uncles, aunts, teachers, and just experiences of life. And some of these beliefs and programs are just not even ours. They come from our parents and family. From the moment we're born until we're about 12 years old, our minds are like sponge. And everything we see, everything we hear, every emotion we experience or that we see our parents experiencing, and things that they say to us and say to others, their behaviors, all of it, starts becoming our version of reality. We take on those beliefs of our parents and grandparents and family members. Some of those beliefs are not valid for us anymore. You know, it's how we started out in the world, but this is the time to say, okay, I don't think that works for me, the way they behaved. So now we're going to talk about this ring below the surface, the subconscious level. Now, you're never truly unconscious, so I don't use the word unconscious very often, because even if you were under anesthesia, there would be a level of consciousness that would be there, because your heart's still beating and every cell in your body is still doing something, and you're never really unconscious. Consciousness never dies because consciousness is energy, and physicists have told us and have shared now that they know that energy never dies, it only transforms. So that consciousness that you have is forever. I mean, we could think of it as forever. So below the surface in the subconscious level is all of our experiences are stored there. So these little pluses and minuses represent your positive and negative experiences of life. So every experience you've ever had since the moment you became a consciousness is stored in here. That's pretty amazing. Some of these have these parentheses around them, so those will be those experiences that have powerful emotional energy around them. So, for example, a positive would be maybe your 4th birthday party and everyone brought presents and you were the star of the show and everybody was loving and fun and kind. And then on the other side, maybe the negative, the powerful energy is someone died, you lost your pet, a mom and dad got a divorce. There's a variety of things, right? We all have those positive and negative experiences. Some have no energy about them, this is day-to-day stuff, and some have powerful energy packed with them. Those powerful energy experiences are going to be the ones that you refer to when life gets tough. Those are going to be the ones that come and help you decide how you're going to behave and react more than just the mundane stuff. Okay, so what is the other thing the subconscious is doing? The subconscious is in charge of every single cell and molecule in your body. So every single cell in your body is doing something right now and you are not aware of it. It is automatic. Its number one priority is to keep you healthy, safe, and alive. And it will do that in whatever means necessary. You will react. So for example, if you were stepping off a curb and a bus was barreling down on you, you would step back. I mean, it's almost automatic and intuitive because that's the subconscious job, to keep you safe. But it's also required to keep you emotionally safe. It wants to keep you emotionally safe, and you have these emotions in here. And so if something seems to that might be painful or hurtful to you, and also the ego gets involved, and it gets very hurtful or painful, or you're offended, the subconscious will block you from doing things. It will cause different beliefs and programs and connections that can make you feel very stuck because it's trying to protect you. That's its number one job. So whatever you're thinking about in the ego mind, or the conscious level of the mind in that outer ring, it's like an instruction to the subconscious level. The subconscious will register that thought, maybe, and we all have those thoughts that are kind of below the surface in the conscious level that are like, oh, I'm not good enough, nobody likes me, they're not going to talk to me, this is never going to work. Well, the subconscious hears those thoughts, and it goes through all of your past experiences in all these pluses and minuses to locate those experiences that make that thought true. So you begin to get feedback and support for whatever you're thinking about from this powerful 95% consciousness below the surface. So that's why it can feel like the harder you try to do something, the harder it is, like hitting a brick wall over and over again, because the conscious mind just isn't as powerful as the subconscious. And so, and if your willpower isn't quite strong enough, you may find yourself repeating things over and over again and getting the same results which is basically no results, and feeling very, very frustrated. So the subconscious is also the gateway to our unlimited potential. You think about it, this is very much like an organic computer. Whatever you think about, the subconscious gives you feedback just like a computer. So garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. So the opposite of what I've been sharing is that if you start thinking empowering thoughts and keeping your thoughts more focused on what you've accomplished in the past and what you can do, the subconscious will also find experiences from your past and beliefs that will support that. So then it begins to become easy. All of a sudden you're in the flow instead of working against yourself. And that's what I want for you, to make it easy. Because when you're happy, joyful, vibrant, and alive and achieving your goals, everyone around you is happy too. And that's what we want for planet Earth, don't we? Raise the vibration. Okay, so the subconscious is this gateway to the superconscious, or our divine connection to spirit, to soul, to the higher powers that be, the God, goddess, whatever that is for you, the universe. And you can access so much more. And we're going to talk a little bit about that too, but I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of that. But it is that gateway. And so to access the subconscious, you have to learn to quiet down the conscious mind. So just a recap of the subconscious. This has been like a crash course in Psych 101. It's greater than 95% of our consciousness. It's below the surface. It's where all our memories, emotions, and habits are stored. And basically our conditioned responses, because that's what a habit is. A habit is something we've done over and over again, or it's a response to a circumstance that happens over and over again. And habits can be really empowering. They can also be very destructive. This is also where all our beliefs about the nature of reality are. And some of those beliefs are just not valid anymore because they came from other people and their experiences, not necessarily our own version of reality. Let's talk about habits for just a moment. So what really is a habit? So when you first start to do something, you have to do it consciously on the conscious level. So for example, when you learn to drive a car, well, I learned on a stick. And so if you learned like I did, then you remember how hard it is. It's like you have to get in there, remember to use your signals, all the traffic laws, stoplights, and all that. And then in the meantime, you also have to remember, put the clutch in, give it gas, shift. And it's hard at first, right? It's difficult. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't remember to do all this. And you kind of chug along, and it's scary. But then one day, what happens? You just get in your car and you drive it. You get up right in there, you put your mascara on, you're talking on your cell phone, you're shifting, you're doing multiple things, and you're not even thinking about it anymore, because what happened is it started out in the conscious level. As soon as it became a habit, as soon as the subconscious got it, then it went into the subconscious level where all of your other habits are stored. So they say that it takes 21 days to change a habit. I honestly don't know about that, or to create a new habit. I honestly don't know about that. Because for me, it's been a week or two. If I start doing something for a couple of weeks, I'm into that groove. So it's different for everybody. So I don't know that that's true necessarily. It's a good benchmark, though. Why not try it out? But you can make new habits. But the thing is you have to start at the conscious level. You have to use some of your willpower to make a new habit, unless you can get your subconscious back on board with you to make it easier, and you can. So the other thing, there's a couple of really important things that go with the subconscious that I would like you to take away today that I want to share with you. One is all emotion follows thought. So if you're not feeling as good as you would like, it's because of what you're thinking about. It is just that simple. Most of the time, we're not aware of those 65,000 thoughts that are behind the surface in our conscious level. So you've got to get aware of those thoughts so you can change them. It's hard to change something if you're not aware of it, right? The other thing is the language of the subconscious is your imagination. Your imagination is your most powerful tool. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what you imagine. You think about it. You've been to the movies, and you watch a movie, and you cry, and you laugh, and you get angry, and you get sad, or whatever. And you have these emotions. Well, you know it isn't real, right? Those are actors playing a part. But while we're watching that, we suspend our ego mind just enough, and we get into our imagination, and we imagine that it's real. And so all of a sudden, it's evoking emotions from our subconscious. See, so that's how it works. All emotion follows thought. It's not the other way around. And you're imagining that something is real makes it real for you. Your imagination is your most powerful tool. And here's a cool little secret. If you can imagine something, that means you have the ability to create it. It's possible for you. Because if it wasn't possible, you wouldn't be able to imagine it. That's how that works. It's pretty amazing and very good stuff. So start using your imagination to accomplish the things you want for yourself, and stop imagining the things that you don't. Another great thing about the subconscious is it learns very quickly. Once it understands, its number one priority, remember, is to keep you healthy, safe, and alive. Once it understands that whatever it's doing is not for your benefit, it can make a change like that. Boom. Very quickly. It learns very, very quickly. So you can use that to your benefit. So I love this by Brian Clemmer. He's the late Brian Clemmer. He was a wonderful coach, and I just loved how he said this. If how-tos were enough, we'd all be skinny, rich, and happy, right? So how to do something is irrelevant if we can't get our beliefs in alignment with what we desire. It's really the beliefs that we hold in the subconscious mind that make or break us, keep us stuck, or help us to move forward. And think about it. There's millions of books on how to be skinny. There's millions of books on diets. There's millions of books on how to be successful. There's millions of books on how to get rich. And there's millions of books on how to be happy. But still, how many of us are walking around? I mean, obesity is at a rampant rate in the United States. With all these diet books and shows and programs, people are still getting fatter. People are unhappy. They're taking antidepressants. There's still people trying to make money that can't make any money because they're stuck. Because it's not about how to do something. It's about getting your mind on board with what you desire for yourself. It's getting that subconscious programs and beliefs going in the right direction for you to achieve what you desire. Now, this is very important. You see or you experience what your mind believes. So all of your life experiences are based on what you believe is true. It's based on your perception of reality. So you literally create your own experience and your own reality. So let me explain. So, for example, look at this cute little dog. This dog's out in this nice little field having fun. And there's a beautiful rainbow in the sky. Now, scientists have told us that dogs do not see color. They see some version of color and shades of color like us, but they don't see color the way that we do. So we can assume then that this dog can't see that rainbow. Actually, there's two rainbows, right? So we're going to assume that the dog doesn't see those rainbows. But does that mean it isn't there? No. Obviously it's there because we can see it, right? But here's the thing. There's so much that we don't see because we don't believe in it. We can't see it because we don't believe it. Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite all-time happiness coaches and authors, had a book titled Believe It and Then You'll See It. And he was right. It doesn't work the other way around. People go, well, I've never seen that, so it can't be true. No, once you believe in something, you will begin to see it. It's all around you. But you experience everything based on your beliefs. Isn't that something? So I'm going to show you why this is true. And just so you know, it isn't your fault. It's just the way we were built. And that's why we are working so hard. That's what this program's all about. That's why you're here, to get this training so that you can figure it out so you can achieve your goals. So our experiences and beliefs of our family determine our version of reality. We already discussed that. So that's very true. And just like a computer, our thoughts are instructions activating our subconscious programs, which is where our beliefs are in the subconscious programs. So whatever you're thinking about, you're going to get more of from the subconscious. There's a part of our brain. It's about the size of the tip of your pinky finger, and it's in the amygdala area, so the emotional area of our brain. It's called the reticular activating system, or RAS. And what the RAS does is it filters information. So it's a filter, and it only allows in information that it believes is pertinent for you. It's estimated that there are 2 million bits of sensory information per second available to us at any given time. So right now in your room, wherever you are listening to this, there is a potential 2 million bits of sensory information that you could be experiencing right now. Unfortunately, the RAS has a limit to what it can allow in. And the maximum the RAS can allow in to the nervous system is 134 bits per second. Wow, tiny fraction of what's available. So what do you think determines what the RAS lets in to your awareness, to your perception? That's right, your beliefs about what's true, your belief about the nature of reality. So the RAS chooses experience for you based on what you already believe is true. Aha! But there's so much more available. So you can take a moment and just ask yourself the question, is what you've been thinking about and what you believe is true for you? Like maybe you can't do it, or maybe you don't have the right tools or the right resources or this or that. Maybe that's not really true. Maybe it's only true because you believe it's true. What you experience is based on your own references about what's real. Here's the really scary thing. The average human will only allow in 7 to 9 bits of sensory data out of the 134 that our RAS has available to it. So only 7 to 9 bits of sensory data is allowed into your awareness, into your experience. Oh my gosh. Are you starting to get an inkling here at how narrow our vision is? How small and insignificant our little beliefs about reality are? There's so much more available to us. So much more available if we just believe it. We can change our beliefs and we can allow more in that's positive. So I like to think of it like a tree. I saw this done. I saw a coach draw a tree to explain this, and I thought that is so perfect. So the thoughts you have are ideas, and those ideas are like seeds that you're planting in your subconscious. You're planting them in the ground. And your references, your experiences and beliefs reinforce those seeds, and they grow into beliefs. So the fruit from the tree is the results that you get from these seeds that you planted. So those beliefs actually mold and create your version of reality. Oh, so now you can start questioning everything, and you can allow more experience in. Open your mind. Open yourself up to new ideas, to new ways of doing things. So what size is your RAS? Are you letting in lots of information and experience, or are you minimizing and limiting yourself? So, big question here. Then how do I get my subconscious to work with me? That's the secret, and that is the key. And you see this girl meditating on the beach, and you know what? That's part of it. It's learning to quiet down the mind. Learning to quiet down the conscious level of the mind and slow those 65,000 thoughts right on down into nothing and get fully present in the moment. It opens up a gateway into the subconscious level. The other thing is your imagination. What you imagine becomes true for you. Albert Einstein said it best. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. And that's true. So what are you imagining for yourself? Your imagination activates your subconscious. So choose wisely. I think it's really helpful, too, after you write your goals and get clear on them, to take a couple hours or an afternoon and create a vision board, because vision boarding, pictures and colors and words, keep that subconscious mind programmed on what you desire for yourself. So that's the power behind a vision board, is activating the imagination. Imagine only positive outcomes. So here are some steps you can take to get yourself into that space and that mental energy to activate your subconscious mind, quiet down those thoughts. The first thing is you have to be aware. First of all, be aware that you're not feeling as good as you would like, or you're not doing what you know you need to do. And you know that feeling. It's a little frustrating. You feel a little scattered. So be aware of that, because you can't change something unless you're aware of it, right? Secondly, your breath is the key. Take a deep breath and relax. Most of the time when we're fretting and frustrated and anxious, it's because we're not breathing. We're thinking about the future. We're not breathing enough. We're not breathing deeply enough. So take a moment and breathe. This is your life force energy going in and out of your body. It's amazing. And relax. Take a moment then to imagine what you desire. Visualize it. Imagine what your outcome will be. And you can use your past successes to anchor in your goals. So take a moment and reflect on all the things you've accomplished in your life, the things you set out to do that were difficult and you did it anyway. Even little accomplishments can add up to powerful outcomes for you. So that activates the subconscious as well, imagining and reflecting on all the times you've been successful. Remember, the mind, body, and emotions are all one. We are mind, body. We are not just a body. We are not just a mind. Our consciousness is in every cell in our body, and all of our memories, beliefs, habits are stored literally in every cell, because that's our consciousness is all in us. So have fun with it. Play with this. And remember to play. Go out. Have some fun. Get to the gym. Get some exercise. One of the first things I tell my coaching clients is To be successful, you've got to move your body. If you're in a state of energy that's depressing, frustration, anger, let down, disappointment, whatever, then go move your body. Tony Robbins talks about this in his programs all the time. Change your state. The easiest way to change your state is to exercise. Plus, you get all of the side benefits from doing it. You get healthy, you have more energy, you look better, you feel fit, and that's a positive plus in the success world, right? Have that energy. So make a daily habit of working out, getting out for a walk, taking your dog to the park, and get some of that good energy from being outside as well. Remember that your perspective is your choice. How you feel is a choice. You're not a victim here. I'm hoping that my hope and my goal for this program is to empower you to realize you are not a victim from your past experiences and beliefs. You can change them. And, pessimists, they complain. They complain about everything. Complain about the wind. I love this from John Maxwell. He's an amazing coach. The optimist expects the wind to change, and the leader adjusts the sails. Which one are you? The time to adjust your sails? I think it may be. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you accomplish? Really, if you knew you could not fail, what would you do? Well, I want you to contemplate this. There is no such thing as failure. There's only growth and learning. Think about a baby. How long does it take a baby to walk? Well, I'll tell you what, my kids walked really early. One at 6 months, one at 7, and one at 10 months. I was always chasing them around. And you know what I noticed about them is no matter how many times they fell down and got hurt and smashed their face on the coffee table or on their knees and fell off things, they never stopped trying to walk. And then next thing you know, they were running. And next thing you know, they were climbing things. And they keep climbing things. And even when they fall down, hit their head. Yeah, I sound like a terrible mother. They were just very busy. I was always running around. But see, think about it. When does a baby give up trying to walk? When do they just sit down and go, okay, that's it. I tried that 3 times, and it's not working, so I'm just not going to walk. Well, that doesn't happen. And guess what? That same determination is still in you. You are that baby. You were that baby that learned to walk and never gave up. So apply that same determination and energy into what you want to do for yourself. See, this is before, this baby and learning to walk was before we got programmed with all of our parents' stuff, all of their beliefs and disappointments and letdowns. And, this is when we're pure. We never give up. And the truth is, everything that you've done in the past it's what's gotten you to this moment right now. It's made you into the person that you are today with all the strengths that you have and weaknesses that you have and learnings that you have. Everything you've ever experienced has been about growth and learning. So there really is no such thing as failure, is there? Only if you quit. Only if you stop trying. So what would it mean to you and to your family if you accomplished your goals this year? 6 months from now, you are living that dream. You are living that lifestyle that you have decided to create for yourself, to be that person. What would that be like for all the people around you, the people at your office, the people in your home, your friends? When you are living your life on purpose with joy and success, you are literally raising your vibration. And when you're raising your vibration, that energy radiates into the atmosphere and into the environment, and it raises everything up. Have you ever noticed that? So when you are living your purpose and accomplishing your goals, you are literally raising the vibration of the people you love and the planet Earth. So get busy. There's no excuse now. So are you willing to change your beliefs to something more empowering and to just do it? You can. All right. Believe that you can. How you see yourself is what matters most, not all those old beliefs and programs and things people said to you, or, relationships that went awry or whatever. Believe that you can. Make a decision. Decide today that you will no longer be held hostage by beliefs and ideas that no longer work for you. Create new ones. All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining me for this training today. It has been my absolute pleasure. And my name again is Susie Bowers. I'm the owner of California Hypnosis Center and Hypno Professional Publishing. And I'd like to invite you to go to my website and get your free hypnosis audio for self-healing. It will help you to quiet your mind. It will help you to achieve success and to heal yourself. And it's free. So just go to susiebowers.com and get your free hypnosis audio. And I'd also like to invite you to get a free success consultation with me. I'll offer you, as a member and a participant with this class, a free half-hour phone consultation to find out if maybe working with me or working together might be a good move for you. Love to hear your story, and feel free to email me as well at susiebowers@yahoo.com. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. Wish you the best. Here's to your success. Bye now.